Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And in two recent videos, I first looked at each team's best quarterback in franchise history, and then later their best running back in franchise history. Once I did that, I power ranked all of them, so all 32 teams. Today, I'm going to do it for wide receivers. Of course, this isn't easy, not only just naming the best wide receiver in franchise history, but then power ranking them. There's so many Hall of Famers and great wide receivers on here. So I'll try my best, though. Of course, it's a subjective list. Let me know in the comments who you agree, disagree with. For some, I'll name other guys I considered for the team. But let's get into it. I'll start in descending order. So 32nd, Harlon Hill, Chicago Bears. Harlon Hill was actually the 1955 NEA MVP. Twice led the league in yards per reception. Twice went over 1,000 yards. But his career really fell off after the first 3 seasons. 31st, Derrick Mason, Baltimore Ravens. Mason did have 4 seasons in which he had over 1,000 yards, but never over 1,087. Also had just 29 touchdowns in 6 years, but did have a season with 103 receptions. 30th, Amani Toomer, New York Giants. So Amani Toomer had 5 straight seasons with over 1,000 yards from 1999 to 2003, but never topped 1,183. 9,497 yards over 13 seasons, but never really seen amongst the game's best, never named to the Pro Bowl. 29th, Michael Thomas, Saints. Definitely considered Marcus Colston here, but Thomas's first 4 seasons were incredible. He's really been injury prone since, but 2019 set a record with his 149 reception single season record. 28th, Charley Hennigan, Tennessee Titans, although he played for the Houston Oilers. Played just 7 seasons, but named to the Pro Bowl 5 straight years from 61 to 65. Led the league in receptions in 1964. Led the league in receiving yards in 1961 and 1964. 27th, New England Patriots, Wes Welker. Man, I thought long and hard about Stanley Morgan. Even Randy Moss, despite his short time, how awesome he was. But Wes Welker 3 times led the NFL in receptions while with the Patriots and had 5 seasons with over 1,000 yards receiving. 26th, Mark Clayton, Miami Dolphins. Clayton was named to 5 Pro Bowls with the team. Had 5 seasons with over 1,000 yards, twice leading the NFL in receiving touchdowns. 25th, Tyreek Hill, Chiefs. May think that's low, but really only spent 5 years with the Chiefs as a starting receiver. Yes, he was awesome during those years, totaling over 1,000 yards 4 times, 2 seasons with double-digit receiving touchdowns. 24th, Max Speedie, Cleveland Browns, inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2020. Speedie played way back in the late 40s, early 50s, 4 times leading the league in receptions, twice receiving yards. Also considered Dante Lavelli here. 23rd, Denver Broncos, Rod Smith. Yeah, you could consider Demaryius Thomas too. But Rod Smith won 2 Super Bowls with the Broncos, led the league in receptions in 2001. Also had 8 seasons where he went over 1,000 yards receiving. 22nd, Chad Johnson, Cincinnati Bengals. Played 10 seasons for the Bengals, totaling 10,783 yards. 7 seasons with over 1,000 yards receiving, including 2006 where he led the NFL with 1,369. 21st, Harold Carmichael, Philadelphia Eagles, inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2020. Carmichael led the league in receptions and receiving yards in 1973, one of 3 seasons where he totaled over 1,000 yards. 20th, Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, still active with the Buccaneers. 9 seasons in the NFL. Every season he's gone over 1,000 yards, has a Super Bowl ring, 10,425 yards, 81 touchdowns thus far in his career. 19th, Steve Smith Sr., Carolina Panthers. Steve Smith was named to 5 Pro Bowls with the Panthers. In 2005, won the Triple Crown for receivers. 103 receptions, 1,563 receiving yards, 12 receiving touchdowns, all led the NFL. 18th, Jimmy Smith, Jacksonville Jaguars. Smith played 11 seasons with the Jaguars, totaling 12,287 yards, 862 receptions. Led the league with 116 receptions in 1999. Had a total of 9 seasons where he went over 1,000 yards. 17th, Charley Taylor, Washington Commanders. He played for the Redskins. Thought long and hard about Art Monk here too, but in 1966 and 67, back-to-back years, Taylor led the league in receptions for his career. 649 catches, 9,110 yards, 79 touchdowns, all with Washington. 16th, Andre Johnson, Houston Texans, 7-time Pro Bowler with the team, 2-time first-team All-Pro. Led the league in receptions twice with Houston, twice in receiving yards. He had 4 seasons where he went over 100 receptions. 15th, a lot of people may say Hines Ward should get this, but man, I could not take Antonio Brown. Yes, I know his off-the-field troubles, but look at his production with Pittsburgh. Twice leading the league in receptions, twice receiving yards, once receiving touchdowns. First-team All-Pro 4 straight seasons from 2014 to 2017. Over 100 receptions, 6 straight seasons from 2013 to 2018. Had to include him. I would understand if you would go Hines Ward. 14th, Torry Holt, Los Angeles Rams. He played for St. Louis. I'm sure some people would take Isaac Bruce. I always thought Torry Holt was a slightly better receiver, and I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. 2003, led the league in receptions. Twice led the league in receiving yards. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Went over 1,000 yards every season from 2000 to 2007. 13th, Andre Reed, Buffalo Bills. Made 4 straight Super Bowls with Buffalo, although he did not win any of them. In 15 seasons, totaled 941 receptions, 13,095 yards, and 86 touchdowns. 12th, Don Maynard, New York Jets. Maynard led the league with 1,434 receiving yards in 1967, 14 receiving touchdowns in 1965. Played an era with less passing stats, but still totaled 11,732 yards and 87 touchdowns in 13 years with the Jets. 11th, Julio Jones, Atlanta Falcons. Really hasn't produced since leaving the Falcons, but he was a superstar with them. Twice leading the league in receiving yards. 2015 led the league with 136 receptions, one of 3 seasons in which he totaled over 100 receptions. Had a total of 7 seasons where he went over 1,000 yards. 12,896 yards and 848 receptions over 10 seasons. Top 10, Minnesota Vikings, Randy Moss. Moss, I know some people may say Chris Carter. Chris Carter played longer with the team, but Moss was just so productive I had to take him. In 8 years with Minnesota, 9,316 receiving yards, 92 receiving touchdowns. 3 times led the league in receiving touchdowns. Had 6 seasons with Minnesota where he had double-digit receiving touchdowns. In each of his first 6 seasons, total at least 1,233 receiving yards. 9th, Tim Brown, Las Vegas Raiders, although he played with Los Angeles and Oakland. 1997, Brown led the NFL with 104 receptions. Every season from 1993 to 2001, he totaled over 1,000 receiving yards, had 99 touchdowns with the Browns. 8th, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, Dallas Cowboys. Irvin won 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. Led the league in receiving yards at 1,523 in 1991. Had a total of 7 seasons going over 1,000 receiving yards. 7th, Calvin Johnson, Megatron, Detroit Lions. His career was cut short. Retired after just 9 seasons, more than 9 seasons it was. 2012 set a single season record with 1,964 receiving yards. Also led the league in receiving yards the previous season. 2012 led the NFL with 122 receptions. An extraordinary 9 seasons for Calvin Johnson. 6th, Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona Cardinals. Fitzgerald is 2nd all-time with his 1,432 receptions, all with the Cardinals. Twice led the league in receptions, had 5 seasons with over 100 receptions. Twice led the league in receiving touchdowns, 2008, 2009. had a total of 9 seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards. Fifth, Marvin Harrison, Indianapolis Colts. Harrison won a Super Bowl with the Colts. Led the league in receptions twice, receiving yards twice, receiving touchdowns once. In 13 seasons, all with the Colts, 1,102 receptions, 14,580 receiving yards, 128 receiving touchdowns. Fourth, Steve Largent, Seattle Seahawks, played his whole 14-year career with the Seahawks, twice leading the league in receiving yards, had a total of 8 seasons with over 1,000 yards. Again, an era that didn't have quite the passing yards that we see in today's game. Total of 819 catches, 13,089 yards, and 100 receiving touchdowns. Third, Lance Alworth, Los Angeles Chargers, although he played with San Diego. Alworth, 9 seasons, 9,584 receiving yards, 81 touchdowns. Again, another era without huge passing numbers, but still went over 1,000 yards, 7 straight seasons. 3 times led the league in receptions, 3 times receiving yards, 3 times receiving touchdowns. Second, Don Hutson, Green Bay Packers. Hutson played all 11 seasons with the Packers way back from 1935 to 1945, way back when passing numbers weren't anywhere near what they are today, but led the league in receptions 8 times, receiving yards 7 times, and receiving touchdowns 8 times, 99 receiving touchdowns in his career. And first, should be no surprise, Jerry Rice, San Francisco 49ers. Jerry Rice played 16 seasons for the 49ers, 1,281 receiving yards, 19,247 yards, 176 receiving touchdowns, 3-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl 23 MVP, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, led the league in receptions twice, receiving yards 6 times, receiving touchdowns 6 times with the 49ers. I could go on for hours about his accolades with San Fran. I'll stop there. So there you have it. Each team's best receiver in franchise history, and then I power ranked them. Man, this was difficult, but just like quarterbacks and running backs, a lot of fun. I'm sure some of you may disagree with who I included, where I ranked them. Again, let me know in the comments. If you heard my cat meowing, I'm sorry about that. My cat wanted to hang out with me for this video, but she's such a joy. But again, let me know in the comments how you would do this. Maybe I'll do tight ends later in the week because I've really enjoyed doing these. It's awesome. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.